Hello everybody, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for this week's question and answer video. I'm answering people's questions from the last question and answer video from last Monday, and I encourage all of you to please go down below into the comment section, ask me any questions you want, and come back next Monday for the next Q&A video where I answer your questions. Something I do every single week is make a recommendation or a suggestion, something to help you guys on your journey of healing and recovering, understanding, learning what happened to you. This week I'm going to recommend something I've recommended once before. It's been quite a while, a couple years, 3 years, 4 years, I don't remember. But it's CBD oil, cannabinoid oil. There's different forms for different states here in this country. I know that a lot of you guys outside of the US can't get it. It's illegal. It's too bad because you can get non-psychoactive. It's no dependency. There's no side effects, symptoms, and it does a bunch of great things for you. It can. So if you are considering this, if you need better sleep, better eat, you're in pain, all these different things I'll get into in just a second, please consider this. So like I said, different states have a little bit different laws here in this country, and it kind of depends on where they extract it from, if it's from the actual marijuana plant or if it's from the hemp plant. Also, if it's psychoactive, non-psychoactive, you can get whatever you guys want or choose. There's many different studies that have taken place, but there's many, many more studies coming in the future because of how beneficial this is appearing to be. So this helps with cancer-associated symptoms and autoimmune-associated symptoms. This helps with anxiety, from anxiety disorders to social anxiety, to depression, clinical depression, pain, nausea, inflammation, and helps with seizures. And again, like I said, less side effects than prescription drugs, almost none. And it's not dependent. You don't become dependent on this stuff. You can stop and it's no big deal. So please consider it. I'll put a link to some of it down below. Maybe you guys can go do your own research and check it out. But I mean, the symptoms that typically are associated with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, narcissistic abuse, you guys call it. These kinds of symptoms are awful. They're awful. They're psychological, they're physical, they're mental, they're emotional. And a lot of us have trouble sleeping, which just really, I mean, sleep is such an important need. And also for recovering from this stuff, it's the time that your brain repairs itself while you're sleeping. It sets the whole precedence for your next day, how it's going to be, how much anxiety you have, how depressed you are. So sleep, just alone, eating better, pain, depression, anxiety. I mean, give it a chance, guys, because my clients that take it, it does wonders for them. Okay, let's get into the questions. There's many questions. If I miss anyone's questions, I'm sorry. I don't do it on purpose. Please ask me again, please. If I misunderstand your question, ask me again. If you misunderstand my answer, you don't understand, or I don't make sense, whatever, just ask me again, okay? There's no such thing as bad questions. Ask me all of them. Repeat questions are great. We all need to hear it again. So please keep asking questions. This one's from Curious Nettie. All I ask is you guys tell us your locations. Where are you from? That's all I'd like to know. You can be general. Curious Nettie is in England. She says, thank you for answering my question, David. You're welcome. Therapy in England is very expensive, and any I've had in the past hasn't been particularly helpful. I'm currently at the stage you described where I'm keeping myself safe, but not allowing any interaction with anyone outside of my immediate friends and family. I will try again to find a good therapist when finances allow. Don't give up, Nettie. And I've known people who've had great therapists in England. And so they do exist. I understand your frustration. I've been there, done that. Went to one. I'm like, it's like they don't know anything. I've had therapists cry when I'm telling them my story. That's not the reaction you really want. I don't need sympathy from my therapist. I need understanding, right? Some emotional support, sure, but help me understand. And she didn't understand. And, I've had therapists tell me to get my abuser back, write them a letter, apologize, all that other BS. And I understand. This is extremely complex. School, formal education that therapists have taught them a little bit about this. Some didn't grasp it well, some don't remember it well, some it just isn't enough. And unfortunately, a lot of people with formal education, it stops with their degree, and they don't keep researching and learning and studying like I have. So I know how to help people like this, and I've met many other therapists across the world, and I know in England there are some, because clients have told me. There's also a lot of free services around the world, particularly in England. I know someone who was able to attain a free therapist, and she said this therapist was amazing. Sounded like they were very good and free. So don't give up. Keep trying. I understand how frustrating it is, and I'm so sorry for all of you who've had a hard time finding help that you need, but don't give up on yourself. There is help available. Okay? There is. So don't give up. Thank you, Nettie. Jamit Malibu. I'm just going to say Jamit from Malibu. Awesome as always. I tweeted the link for the petition. I don't have a lot of followers, but they are good people. This is so insidious and rampant. I'm so shocked that YouTube and all the social media does so little to discourage this behavior. No accountability, of course. Shake my head. Thank you, Jamit, for sharing the petition. As you guys may know, I started a petition a couple weeks to stop online abuse, harassment, violence, all of it. And it's going slow. I've noticed out of the, I think by now 15,000 people have looked at the petition, and we've only had like 300 signatures. I mean, it's the problem is nobody understands, and it's frustrating and disappointing for myself to go through this for so many years, and it's so bad, and people just think it's no big deal. Don't pay attention to it. Oh, whatever. Who cares? You know? And it's like, no, actually, it's some of the biggest reasons people are committing suicide, taking their own lives. It's that bad, and I get it. That you guys don't understand if it hasn't happened to you. I get it. But to not just push a button that helps other people, it's pretty sad that you just pass. And there's no reason not to sign it. I mean, people already look in the petition. All you got to do is push the button. That's it. It means nothing. You aren't held to anything. It's just pushing a button. And people refuse to do it because they think it's not that bad. Unfortunately, it has to happen to them or their loved ones to think it's a big deal and support it. But thank you, because what it needs is, it doesn't need just a signature. It needs to be shared, or it will die. It's kind of dying right now. So I got a bunch of different ideas and stuff that I'm doing to promote this soon. And I know it'll help, but we really need people to share it. Thank you. Rory from Ohio says, thank you so much for talking about the push-pull. It's much clearer to me now. It's like an awful harmony that went on between us. I'm glad I had the strength. I continue to get stronger on this channel. Enjoy the rest of your evening, David. Thank you. You too, Rory. The push-pull, harmony. It's lack of harmony. The push-pull game is threatening to leave if I don't get my way. And then if I feel, and it's two people won't be vulnerable, right? Because I'm telling you right now, communication, just coming right out and being vulnerable and communicating with your partner is going to make the relationship better and fix the problem, or it's going to end it right away. And that's what we're afraid of, isn't it? So, I feel like my partner is drifting away. Instead of telling them, hey, honey, reassure me, I need some security, I love you. Instead, I'm going to push further away and threaten them. And so they freak out and start coming this way. And then I go, okay. No. And then someone starts doing it, and then we play our little game. And it's disgusting. There's no security in that relationship, and no one's being vulnerable and communicating at all. So, yeah, you guys ever find yourself in a situation like that? End it immediately. Fix it, end it. Real simple. Relationships. You fix the problem or you end it. You don't live with problems. Traveling Man from Louisiana. Hi, Traveling Man. Hey, David. Thank you for your response. Honestly, seeking help somewhere else is quite scary, as I feel like I'd have to start over. But I will take that under serious consideration. Take this under consideration too, okay? Hold on. First of all, it reminds me of a sick codependent relationship. Oh, I don't want to end it with this person. They know me so well. They know everything about me. They know my family. They know my problems. I mean, it'd be like I'd have to start over with somebody else. And remember that feeling? Yeah. If we chart your help, your recovery, your journey, your healing, if it's supposed to go like this, because this is the best help you can possibly get, this help, even though we're going up, could actually be more damaging not to get the help that you need. Just want you to know that. Staying in any relationship that isn't benefiting you and giving you what you need and stuff like this really wreaks havoc on our self-respect. It really doesn't matter if you start over with somebody, I promise. I can get a really good, clear indication of where somebody is the first session, first hour, and what they need, and start coming up with a plan. So it really doesn't matter. If you go get the help that if you're not getting the help that you need, and here you are plugging along, and then you go get the help that you need, and you go, pew! Does it really matter if you started over? You know what I mean? It's just, it's something that I think a lot of people don't understand. and I didn't, that if we don't get the help that we need, it's just more damaging. Whether it's another therapist that's just not quite helping us as much as we need, or I'm going to my friends instead of a therapist, all this. It can be very damaging, and you're worthy of it. Start over, sure. Doesn't take much, I promise. Shut Up and Dry Productions. Don't know where you're from. Scott is your name. I have what I believe is a cluster B X. Well, you don't have her anymore. It's X. I'm not a psychologist, however, I'm a believer in if it looks like a rose and it smells like a rose, and I bet she doesn't look or smell like a rose either. It probably isn't a carnation. During the entire time we were married and together in a relationship, she would constantly use threatening the marriage and relationship as a control tool. Here we are again, right? I finally exited the relationship 3 years ago after she decided to move back to her parents' house due to her own children, who were, by the way, grown adults. Even though she made that choice 3 years ago and spent the entire marriage threatening divorce, she has not gone to file for divorce, and we have been living separately for over 3 years. The only reason I haven't filed is because I honestly feel like she needs to take responsibility for something, because she never took responsibility for it. And here we are being her dad again, right? You're going to help her, you're going to teach her, you're going to fix her, you're trying to change her. That's not her, is it? She never takes responsibility, so why is it your job to make sure she takes responsibility? And I'm going to stay married with my abuser already for 3 more years that we aren't together, but now, how long, Scott? You want to go another 3 years being married to this person? Because I'll tell any other healthy woman out there in the world, don't date Scott. He's still married to his abuser. He won't get a divorce. How about that? So let's stop controlling her, and let's take some control over your life. And Scott, you decide what you need, what you want, how you feel, what you value, and use these things to decide if you should file for divorce or not. Okay? Stop with her, man. That stuff is over. You guys don't even talk anymore. The relationship is dead. All right? And you're not her dad. Who cares? She doesn't want to. She doesn't have to. Does she? I'm just trying to give you some clarity, shine the light on you, and give you some more awareness and say, well, actually, David's right. I do need to get away from her, and I do want to not be married to her anymore. And I do, maybe that's where you're at, Scott, instead of wondering what she needs and what she wants, okay, and trying to help her, because the help that she needs goes way beyond anything you can do for her. All right? Good luck, Scott. And Dale from England. Hi, Dale. Many thanks for the reply. Having thought about all that you said, I find myself agreeing. I have only known about narcissism for a few years, and when I learned of its existence, my parents' behavior all clicked into place and finally makes sense after a lifetime of confusion. On a practical note, is there some way that I can break down the barrier that prevents me from tidying and cleaning my place, as I feel that this hurdle is my current first priority? Many thanks. Yeah, Dale, and I think this is the second time you've asked me about this. Not being able to clean your room. I think you asked me what that means and stuff, and I'm not diagnosing you or anything, but just behaviors like that typically might be associated with some sort of depression, typically. So you want some advice. Best advice I can give you, Dale, is everything that's laying around on your floor or on counters and stuff like this, throw it all away. You don't need it. And I'm being dead serious. I've done it. It's incredible. It is so freeing and liberating. Feels so good. You don't need it. Especially if you don't respect it, right? If you have all this stuff all over the place that you don't care about and you don't respect, and it's just on the floor getting dirty or damaged and stuff like this, and it's more of a pain to pick it up and clean it and wash it and put it away, get rid of it. You don't need it. And I'm dead serious. Have a garage sale. Go donate stuff. Give stuff to people who like a lot of belongings. Because that kind of stuff weighs you down. When people say, oh, I'm just weighted down. I get this all the time. I can't go on vacation because I have pets and I have a house and I've got all this stuff I got to take care of, and I have a storage unit where I pay $200, $300 a month, and I love it, but it's been in a storage unit I've been paying for 8 years, and you've never used it. I know people with closets full of clothes they haven't ever worn or haven't worn in years. What's the point? Go give it to someone else that can wear it. Because that stuff just wears you down. It weighs you down. I mean, it does. It's like an anchor. You can't do anything. People got all these excuses why they can't do anything with their life because of stuff. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, Dale. It feels great. It does. It feels wonderful. You don't need it. Why pick it up, clean it, put it away, and all this stuff if you don't even care about it? If you do care about it, start showing it. Okay? So think of the things that you really do need and want. If it really, really does something for you, clean it up, put it away. Best way to do it is just start small. Just make one little effort. And you don't have to do it. Doesn't matter if you do it or not. It just feels bad to you that it's so dirty. But what we really got to do, Scott, is start having a different lifestyle. Because you can pick up your stuff and your junk and all that, but if this is how you live, it seems like it's just going to go right back to that. So I would get some help. Yeah, I would have somebody there for you that doesn't just offer you support, but kind of calls you out. And it's somebody that you have to go see every week. You know, say if you see me every Friday after work, right, the end of the week. And David's going to ask me about my room and my stuff. And I'm going to say, yeah, show me a picture. I'm going to, oh God, you know, I'm going to go clean it. I'm going to go clean it before I talk to David. That really helps. Holds you accountable. But here's another one, Dale. Have a party, have people over. Because that's a world of difference for me, man. If I live by myself and no one comes over, my place tends to get a little sloppy. But when I'm entertaining people all the time, I'm mopping those floors every day, and the dishes are done immediately. But we got to change our lifestyle, Dale. So, you know, if we're going to use dishes, we got to clean them right away. That should be a part of the deal. Otherwise, I'm not going to use them. How's that? Things like that, okay? Hope I gave you some good suggestions, but the point of it is to start real small. Try one little bit. It's like how do I start reading a book that I don't want to read because it's so big and I'm so overwhelmed? Just read one page. Just read the first page and put it away. That's what you said you're going to do, and that's what you're going to do, and you feel good about it. Maybe next time you'll probably feel like reading it more. Read 2 pages. Just start small, Dale, okay? Help is always the best way to fix things. Get people to give us support, call us out, hold us accountable, things like that. And get rid of your stuff and have a party. Have people over. Erica. Hi, Erica. Shoot, I can't remember where you're from, Erica. And I would just be guessing. A part of me wants to say Eastern United States for some reason. I don't know. Michigan or something. Hi, David. Can you do a video on codependency versus trauma from abuse? I relate about 0% to codependency, but that's all I see online from coaches. It's an awful term and very shaming. There are some videos I see claiming to help c-ptsd that are so cruel to survivors using the C word. I don't know if I'm an exception. Honestly, if I were codependent, I probably would not be suffering so much from retaliation. Even after leaving all the narcs, I truly believe I had Stockholm Syndrome, and we live in a culture that idealizes toxic relationships. Once I realized these people are predatory, I stopped caring right away. It wasn't about me feeling subservient at all. I'm so tired of not having a word instead of codependency. Maybe some people are codependent, and that's understandable as a gateway to abuse, but I believe many of us are simply raised to normalize toxicity. But we don't apply that toxic behavior to ourselves. We simply don't know there is an option to call it toxic. It's just how other people are. Until we get proper information, it's not this thing where you feel like you were born to enable a-holes. Okay, Erica, I totally understand, and I used to hate that word too, and I heard about it when someone first told me, oh, that's codependency. And it took me a while to understand it, and, you know, I'm not going to tell you you're codependency. The thing is codependency is just behaviors. Here, this is what I wrote to Erica. Hi, Erica. Yes, I can, and thank you. I understand. Know that codependency are only behaviors. It begins when describing relationships with addictions in them. Try looking real close as to why we stayed. The real answer. It fits codependent behaviors. There are typically 2 different types in a codependent relationship, the giver and the taker. It's not equal. No reciprocation to our efforts. We may feel responsible for them in some way and find it difficult to leave them, even though we want to so bad that we want to leave them, but we don't. Why? Why don't we leave them? Something keeps us from not ending it sooner or at all, no matter how bad it is. There is a degree of dependency to it. Almost all my clients begin withdrawal symptoms when the relationship is over, and it's clearly an addiction. It's the same chemical reaction in our brains as any other addiction. The percentage of this is too high to ignore. The trauma bond is literally a parent-child relationship. That is what a bond is. So We talk about trauma bond. People say trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond, trauma bond. I don't know if people really understand what that means that when they're saying that. A bond is the first relationship that a mother has with their child. That's it. Okay, right away. And I can understand adult relationships, they've parentified us and we feel like the mother or father, the parent. There's a degree of, I can't just let them go, they'll fail. There's a degree of, I'm so afraid of what's going to happen to them, they're going to be gone. Or I don't want to start over, like I said earlier. There's many, many different things that I hear that really fall into, there's obviously some kind of addiction, some kind of dependency. They don't want to be without they miss them. They don't want to be without them, even though they hate them and can't stand them and they hurt them and they're dangerous. There's just so many factors that just scream dependency. My clients look like heroin addicts, a lot of them, right away. They're withdrawal, their partner, they hate their partner. They've been in these toxic relationships for years. You know, what kept you together for years? Because nobody ever has their emotional needs met. No one. None of my clients. In the toxic relationship with the narcissist, borderline, you're not getting any of your emotional needs met. Why would you stay? There's nothing but problems. And we want to fix, help, control, and change them as they want to do with us. And I've studied the actual chemical reaction in our brains, and it's not like heroin, alcohol, drugs, gambling, sex. It's not like it. It's the exact same thing. It's just another dependency. Relationships, people. It's just another dependency. But we can call it whatever we want. That's just behaviors. Just behaviors. If you want to classify it and title it and call it something else, feel free. Because that's not even classified. It's just behaviors. And there's never just one person who's dependent in a relationship. We stay because we're both dependent. That's why it's co. I hated it too, Erica. I hated it too because I didn't like being blamed for what happened in that relationship. But I also realized I had to take ownership of my part. And that was, I'm afraid to dump them and leave them. And they're going to fall and they're going to be, people are going to take advantage of them and hurt them and all this stuff. Like I'm her father. And times that, you know, I was really excited about the times that we broke up or the time she left me and was gone and I was single all of a sudden. It would feel really great. And then I'd start feeling that draw back to this person who neglected every single need and abused me. Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, that's fine. That was coined after a bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden, where the bank robbers were there long enough to where they studied the victims, the hostages, actually started protecting the bank robbers. And that's fine. I just don't see how that explains a 10-year tumultuous, abusive relationship, why someone stayed. I don't see that. Dependency sure as hell explains it. An addiction. You can see it in the brain. I can see it in the behaviors. I can see it in all my clients. I'm not saying it applies to you. Maybe not, Erica. Maybe not. But ask yourself questions. Why did it take so long to end it? Instead of just saying Stockholm Syndrome, explain it. You know, it took me years to understand it. And it's just behaviors. If you don't like, you know, I can say I had codependent behaviors. I don't anymore. That's simple. I don't want to. It's actually gross. I can't stand people who have codependent behaviors. Doesn't feel good. Thank you, Erica. And what do you want to call it? You can call it toxic relationship, narcissistic abuse. Doesn't matter. Stockholm Syndrome. But they all have codependent behaviors. Rory from Ohio. Along with Jennifer's question about narcs yawning when you're talking to them, why do they sigh, twiddle their thumbs, arms folded, gazing up, or with eyes closed while you're having a conversation with them? Here's a simple answer. Because they lacked respect. They do not respect you, your time, belongings, your money, your feelings, your space, your relationships, or what you need and want, or even your opinion. Okay? They don't care. They don't care. It's like the alarm clock going off. Provides a service, and after a while it gets annoying. Turn it off. They don't care how you feel. They don't care what you want, what you need. The narcissist can only see themselves. That's it. It's like a baby lying on their back, and all they can see is their fingers and toes, and they can't see past that. They're not in a world filled with people. All these people are in their world. And the people really, none of their feelings are, I might even understand that they have any. They're like objects, objectification. But what's really important is me. How bad I'm doing, how good I'm doing, what I want, what I need, all this stuff. Okay? As far as them paying attention to you and making you feel good and stuff like this, these are things that they do to get what they want. Whenever they do something good to you, they're trying to show you this is what I want done to me. And there's something I do like from you. There's a dependency factor. I need you. Okay. Oh, and back to Erica, codependency, you can always know you're in a relationship where there's codependent behaviors because you'll say things like, or your other partner will say things like, how I felt really depended on what they did. Like everything they did just ruled and controlled my emotions. I didn't know where mine stopped and theirs started. I felt responsible for their emotions. It's all dependency. It's all codependency. Respect, right? Don't value respect. And I'm telling you guys, we have to value the same things in a relationship for it to work at all, to function. If you value respect for other people, so does everyone else in your life. They must. Because if they don't, then you are compromising what you value. Okay? That's the simple answer. I mean, you could, I don't know, maybe I could get way more into it, but that's it. Hi, David. Salema from France. Hi, Salema. I have been taking lithium orotate for 10 days now. I can spot a major difference. I'm no more hypervigilant as I used to be. Usually I like a hunting look. Oh, you have like a hunting look? High alert is what that is. When I deal with people, hunting for a detail, a clue, something that will tell me where the danger is. I notice that I'm not doing it anymore, and I'm much more comfortable when I talk to people. And I even ask them some questions now, which is impossible for me to do so, as I fear to be too intrusive. Now you're very comfortable. Lithium orotate, guys. It's a trace mineral. I recommended a couple times, and just recently again, look it up. Amazon, it's cheap. It's not the drug lithium. That's lithium carbonate. We want lithium orotate. It's already in your body. If you've suffered stress and trauma, it's probably be very low. So I recommend taking it. I've just heard many, many good things about it since I've been recommending it. Thank you, Salema. Jennifer, Jennifer from the United Kingdom. Why do psychopaths lower their voices when being interrogated by the detectives? They do this when the detectives are onto them. So, most people, when they're lying, fabricating, manipulating, being deceptive, their voices get higher. No, I didn't do it, I swear to God. That's the liar. Whereas the person telling them the truth tends to not do that. Tends to stay right here. I didn't do it. Instead of, I did not do it, I swear to God. I've studied this many years. Now, the psychopath may lower their voice for intimidation, to get your attention, to be taken serious. All those reasons. Intimidate the interviewer, to control and manipulate, right? I'm being serious now. This is very serious, right? I think your parents will do that to you. I'm very ashamed of you. Very ashamed of you. I'm very, very disappointed in you, right? That's when they're very serious. And the psychopath does not ever want to never be taken seriously. Especially now is the time they want to be taken seriously. I think that's what it is. Jennifer, what do you think? Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. I've stayed away from my toxic family for almost a year. One of my family members reached out and apologized. I want to accept the apology so bad. My question is, can I let one family member back in my life without wondering if they're going to do the same thing over again? Because I really don't think I could survive another mental attack. The thought of getting my nieces and nephew back are overwhelming. I miss them so much. I'm willing to be hurt. What does that say about me? Well, it says that you miss them, that you want the connection with these people again. You love them, Victoria. Okay, so we've got to take care of ourselves first. If we go out and recklessly try to start relationships with people or rekindle ones with, reckless abandon, right? Not worrying about myself, it won't work anyways, even if they don't hurt you. Got to take care of yourself first. I think that's a great thing. I may be missing some stuff here, but I don't see why it would be a bad idea to allow one member of your family into your life again, even though the rest of the family is toxic, except that one member may not be very healthy. I don't know if you're worried about them like turning on you, but what we need to do, Victoria, very, very carefully, is we have to have terms. Okay, so you need to figure out exactly what your terms are to have a relationship with your niece or nephew, any of them, each person. Be very, very clear with yourself on what these terms are, and then be very, very clear with them and what the terms are. And they must agree. It's not just telling them and they go, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Do you understand and do you agree that I can't have contact with any other family member? I don't want to hear about them. You can't tell them about me at all. If that's what your terms are. I just threw some out there. But be very clear on what your terms are and be very clear with them and make sure that they agree to them. Period. You first, Victoria. If you want this relationship to work with them, then that means you come first. That's the way it works. Okay? You start putting other people before you and above you and stuff like this, it's not going to work out no matter who that person is. Okay? Good luck, Victoria. I don't see a problem with it, but we just got to protect ourselves. Okay? You said you can't survive another mental attack. Well, then you be very clear and make sure that another mental attack doesn't happen. And we only have control over some things, not everything. Okay? But communicate, be vulnerable, tell them what you want. Salema from France again. Hi, Salema. I realized that when I talk to my son and we are just the two of us, I use some sentences that, for instance, only my dad uttered. It would make sense that I use these sentences if we lived within the family, but we are in no contact for years now. I've kept using these expressions in a way that made me laugh inwardly, like a code addressed to people, initiated to our family, but we are just the two of us and my son does not get these sentences, so why on earth do I keep using them? Because, Salema, we learn from our parents. Okay, you're talking about your dad. You learned what a father is. You learned what a husband is. And you learned what a man is. And you learned what marriage is and relationships and love. All this you've learned from your father. Okay, I watched a hilarious commercial. I've said it before on here before. I think it's a Geico insurance commercial. I could be wrong. It's one of those commercials where it's hilarious, but it really has nothing to do with the product. And there was a therapist teaching a class of clients how to not be like their parents. So all these people came to the therapist, please, I don't want to be like my parents anymore, change me. And then the therapist would call them up, oh, that's just like your dad. That's like your mom. Because that's just what we do, okay? We tend to parent like our parents. Even if it was bad, we parent kind of like them and then a little better is what we shoot for. And if it was really bad parenting, maybe we are a lot better now. But you're going to adopt some of these parenting styles or just quotes and mannerisms from your parents. Okay, if you don't like it, be more mindful that you're doing it and try to stop. That's all I can tell you, Salema. I might be missing something here too. If I am, let me know. Okay. Sergeant Muffin Badger from Central Valley, California. Hello. My narc is all of a sudden taking accountability for the damage done to my charger when we were together. And I'm guessing not your phone charger, your Dodge charger. Like sending me a huge sum to fix it. Definitely a car. I have a feeling that this is an attempt to slowly hoover and suck me back in, but what do you think? It's just out of character for her, honestly. I don't know her, right? If she's going to pay you back for some of the car, I would consider accepting it. But what's most important is your emotional and mental health. Stay safe, okay? She says right here, or you say that she says, she wants to send you a huge sum to fix it. Well, she hasn't, right? What is she waiting for? She damaged your car. She owes you to fix it, and now she's communicating with you, considering sending a huge. Yeah, what do you want? What do you want anything from her at all? Tell her not to contact you again. Who cares about the car? Would you like some of the money for the car? But is that all you want? Just a suggestion. If there's nothing you want from her and you do not want to ever contact her or contact you and all this stuff again, but you would like some of the money for the car, send her a message telling her that. I don't want you in my life. I don't want to contact you. I don't want to talk to you about this. You damaged my car and you want to fix it and you want to send money. You can, whenever you feel like, you can send money to here. And you don't need to contact me or notify me. I'll see it. And as far as thanking you, well, thank you for damaging my car. I mean, now you've got proof you can take her to court. And your insurance company can do that for you if you have insurance at the time. They'll actually take her to court for you. But I don't know what else to say except protect yourself, okay? Protect yourself, because there's nothing more important than this in this. Is there? No car, right? No money, okay? It comes down to you, what you want. And then be realistic. Is she capable, right, of talking to me and having a conversation about a car and fixing it? Or is she just playing games? Is that what she usually does, play games? Then don't play the game with her. Be direct. You want to pay for the damage you've done? Here, you can send it here whenever you like. You don't need to tell me. You said you have it now. You want to send it now? Send it now. Otherwise, you're full of shit. Yeah? Otherwise, I don't want to hear it anymore. Otherwise, I don't want any more contact from you ever again. You've ruined my life. You've ruined my car. Stay out of it. Done enough damage. You want to repair some of it? Send the money here. I'll see it. Bye. I wouldn't even thank her. Thank her for what? Hasn't done a thing yet. Right? Just be careful. Right? If you want money, it doesn't mean you have to play her game and talk to her. Just put it right on the table. Here's where you send money. Leave me alone. What do you want to bet the money doesn't come? That she so wanted to pay off and, you know, be responsible and be accountable and all that other crap, which is just, I just don't believe it. Don't believe it until I see it. Yeah. The reason you're asking me is because you don't believe it, because you've never seen it, because you've only seen the other from her. So don't expect much more. Except she sucks. Except that she lies. Except that she damages things and doesn't pay for them and tries to manipulate people back into their lives. Right? Good luck. Good luck. And I'm sorry about your car. That's it, guys. That's all the questions. Thank you very, very much. Please keep asking questions. If you guys think that this is beneficial to you, to someone else, I really need your support. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Voting up or down, tell me why down below. Ask questions, share this video. I really appreciate all of you. All of you love yourself first. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you again.